Hello and welcome. Today we're going to give you an overview and a demo of Upwind. Upwind is a cloud security platform that is focused on the runtime layer. Because with runtime layer, not only can you focus on the foundational things of cloud security like CSPM and your biggest risk, but you can also answer much deeper questions in today's escalating challenges in cloud security. Like, where's my sensitive data? How is my data flowing? How my APIs are connected? And how is my network topology looks like in a microservices rich and containers rich and cloud services rich environment in my cloud. So today we're going to show you a demo how you can take the power of runtime intelligence and apply it everywhere in your security stack so you can bring your teams together from engineering and DevOps and security teams, of course, and actually make your security exponentially better. So let's dive into it. One of the really important areas in the Upwind console is the inventory tab. In the inventory tab, not only can you get access to all of your resources and assets across your cloud accounts and infrastructure, but you can also get a deep dive view of your entire topology. You'll see in one place how services are interacting with each other. On layer 3, on layer 4, on layer 7, you can see how your APIs are connected, how your data is flowing, how your microservices interact with each other, and also end-to-end view from an application to an S3 bucket, from an application to an RDS database, from an application to another application that is sitting outside of your cloud. These things are powered by runtime intelligence. This information is really hard to put together because you need to bring multiple layers of context in order to create this topology graph. And Upwind puts it on a beautiful New York subway map where you can actually see every connection from north to south, from east to west across your entire services and application in one place. And then on top of that, we can actually see the real risks in your environment, but not just theoretical risks, actual risk. We can see how applications communicate, how they talk into your most sensitive information, how your APIs are receiving traffic from the internet or sending data to the internet. And this is a game changer for your security teams, for your engineers, and for your DevOps teams. There is no other place that can bring this type of information that all of your teams, from DevOps, engineering, and security team, can actually agree that this is the single source of truth of your cloud environment.
Let's now explore the additional two main tabs of the inventory. The Assets tab. This tab lists all assets and technologies in your cloud environment, allowing you to slice and dice the data with rich filtering options. For example, if you want to know which resource is running a specific technology and is exposed to the internet, you can find it in just a couple of clicks. The Upwind Explorer empowers you to query the assets and its attributes by building complex queries, whether you are looking for all containers running a particular technology, processing sensitive data, exposed to the internet, and operating with high privileges. You can tailor your query to find exactly what you need, making it easy to analyze and interpret the results. Moreover, if this query is critical for your compliance, you can save it as a misconfiguration rule, which then appears in your custom framework within the configurations module and on your dashboards. This seamless integration naturally leads us into the configuration module. Let's drill down there next to see how Upwind helps you to maintain control and ensure compliance.
So let's get started. One of the first things you can do when you log into the Upwind platform is the Configuration tab. In the Configuration tab, not only can you get access to hundreds of security checks across tens of frameworks, but here, what actually Upwind does for you is that it thinks for you. It actually organizes the security risk for you and create the golden path for a secure cloud environment for you. We start by providing you several custom security frameworks like, what is my security IAM? What does my security infrastructure look like? How attackers see me from the outside? We actually organize for you the right risk with the right parameters so you can get started and solve the biggest risk in your cloud right away.
Now, let's talk about the world of threat detections. The traditional way of discovering threats used to rely on who has the largest database with signatures of known malicious activities in the world. However, at Upwind we truly believe that the modern approach means not understanding the signatures of attackers, but rather understanding the signature of your environment. To do that, Upwind baselines every workload and systems in your cloud. We understand what domains you're talking to, what network throughput is happening, what processes are executing, what syscalls are accessing what files and where, how sensitive data is flowing through the environment, and much more. After Upwind establishes a baseline of your environment, we start looking at anomalies. And immediately, for every anomaly that fires up, we map it back out to meter attack tactics. Things like initial access, credential thefts, or reconnaissance activities happening by attackers. Once we have all of that information, we're able to start firing alerts on anomalies in the environment. However, we don't want your SOC analysts to be looking at thousands of events. We're able to correlate all of these events together to a single story that tells you what happened from start to finish, provides you with a full timeline of events, maps it all back out to the relevant meter attack tactics for every anomaly that happened. The result of that is that SOC analysts no longer have to spend 10 hours sifting through alerts, logs, and individual events, but rather they get to see a full picture across the workload, the application, and the cloud in a single place.
Now, let's dive into vulnerability management at runtime. Most modern cloud environments and applications rely on a vast number of packages, images, containers, VMs, and services. As a result, security teams often face hundreds and thousands of vulnerability findings, creating noise and overwhelming lists to sift through. This complexity makes it hard to know which vulnerabilities truly matter. Upwind tackles this problem by focusing on runtime context. We identify every resource, process, image, and package in runtime, and build runtime funnel to highlight your most important vulnerabilities. If a vulnerable function isn't being used or a package isn't loaded into the memory, the exposure is lower. Similarly, if the resource isn't exposed to the internet or there's no exploit in the wild, the risk is reduced. In short, we cut through noise and help you focus on what really matters. Let's now deep dive into the Upwind console to see it in action. In this vulnerability finding, notice how Upwind automatically provides rich context, including severity, usage details, and evidence of exploitability. Best of all, with a single click, you can see which image the vulnerable package is in, when it was deployed, and who pushed the last pull request. This streamlines remediations and ensures that security teams focus on real risk, not endless noise.
Excited to walk you through a powerful new capability in Upwind, Gen AI Security. As Gen AI adoption accelerates, security teams need visibility, control, and real-time insights into how these technologies are being used across their environment. This new capability brings that to life, end-to-end. We begin in our map, which now highlights outbound communication with Gen AI services across your cloud. In one glance, you can see all your workloads that interact with external Gen AI platforms, like OpenAI, AWS Bedrock, or Vertex AI. This view gives you immediate awareness of AI usage, make it easy to identify unexpected or unauthorized activity, ensure that AI usage aligns with your organization policies. From there, we move into the compliance tab, when Gen AI is now part of your configuration risk management. You will see new findings related to misconfiguration around AI services. For example, models that are publicly accessible or not protected by proper access control. Next, in the detection view, we surface dedicated threat detection for Gen AI activities. This helps you to catch things like unusual behavior in workloads using Gen AI, policy violation, or suspicious attempt to exploit AI services, giving your security team the ability to act quickly and confidently. One of the most impactful parts of this release is the ability to detect when sensitive data is being sent to Gen AI services, such as PCI, secrets, and internal documents. These give you immediate awareness of potential data leaks and ensure your Gen AI usage is safe and compliant.
Let's now get a sneak peek into some of the Upwind's API security capabilities. APIs are the backbone of modern applications, connecting services and enabling seamless data exchange. However, with their critical role comes a hidden risk. APIs are prime targets for attackers looking to exploit vulnerabilities and disrupt business operations. Threats such as injection attacks, broken authentication, and misconfigured endpoints are just a few examples of the challenges organizations face in securing these vital interfaces. Upwind monitor all network communication in your environment, from layer 3 and 4 to track source, destination, protocol, and throughput, all the way up to layer 7 to analyze application requests and responses. Using this analysis, Upwind automatically builds a runtime-based API endpoints catalog. There's no need to import Open API spec or Swagger. Simply connect Upwind to your environment and it starts mapping endpoints in real time. Each endpoint comes with rich context. Does it require authentication? Is it exposed to the internet? Does it process sensitive data? When you drill down into a specific endpoint, you'll see details on data sensitivity, along with samples showing where the masked sensitive data appears in the payload, and you can also review the API specification that Upwind built based on the actual requests. Extremely helpful for teams lacking through documentation. Once the catalog is complete, Upwind runs API vulnerability scans, testing endpoints for issues like the OWASP top 10 risks. In a specific vulnerability report, you can see the exact test, the impacted endpoint, related CWE, and the OWASP top 10 category. There's also evidence of the test, including the request and response data and remediation guidance. Finally, Upwind delivers important API insights, such as trending errors, payload size anomalies, calls to non-existing APIs, and other potential exposures and risks that may need your attention.
Thanks for taking the time to watch our demo. As we say at Upwind, up and up.